All right, this is part 2 of UV Unwrapping the arch. So we're going to continue on with that. Let's turn on our edged faces. So I'm going to right click and say hide unselected. Okay, so let's start. We're going to start separating this into different pieces. I'm going to go into element and click on the top portion and detach that. And I'm going to grab this front section here and detach that. I'm going to grab one arch here on the front, one of the bases for this column. I'm going to grab that and detach it. And then I'm going to grab both of these for now and detach them. There we go. And then I'm just going to hide, right click and say hide selected for everything else. All right, so let's start with this, the top part. We're going to unwrap this, open UV editor, and we're going to unwrap this just like we did our previous column. We're going to come in and click on the polygons on the top, the bottom, and we're just going to peel those. And remember, we want to make sure that these are sort of sitting like this. Let's go down here and we'll turn on our trim at this point. These sections, I kind of want to take them and I'm going to map them to this sort of, my trim has this kind of big gray area down here, and that's what I kind of want to map all these different parts to, that are kind of this upper section. You're not going to see those as much, it'll be okay. If you were concerned, if we were going to see them more, we may break those. So we can move them kind of like this. And then we could grab our various rows of edges and do quick aligns. And then we could grab all those polygons and just kind of pack them in without getting, the edge, since this is kind of just a generic noise. There you go. So it's not perfect. You don't really see it as much. We would probably have just a really nice tiling version of this texture for situations just like that. But here, what we're going to do next in edge, we're just going to grab this corner and grab that loop. Nope, that was the ring. I want to grab the loop and convert edge selections. Grab this corner, convert that edge selection, orbit around, grab that, convert that edge selection, orbit around, convert that edge selection. So we didn't do the ring again because we have edges that go through the center. So we didn't want to mess that up. Okay, let's just grab all these shapes here and we'll unfold them. All right. And then we'll just have to go through and rotate them so that they kind of are sort of flat. I wonder if we take, I'm going to undo that. I'm going to go in here to peel, and I'm going to change it from unfold to LSCM and peel that. And that is weird. Why did it do this? If I peel it again, it does a better job. Huh. I haven't worked with that version of it as much. Let's grab all of those, not the bottom and top section we unwrapped though. Tools, relax, and we will go to relax by polygon and hit apply. There we go. It kind of matches those better. And then just rotate this. And we kind of want to line them up on top of themselves like when we were working with our trim before. Try to zoom in here. Doesn't have to be perfect, especially if you're zooming in like super close, and it's definitely not going to be, but that's okay. You see how they're almost matching. I'm going to go in here to the freeform. Just click and hold that right corner to raise that up to get it to match that same size. It's weird that it's not matching. I'm going to hold Alt and deselect this bottom part and just manually pull this over to kind of match, because those should be lining up. If I double click, that grabs all of it. Deselect the top part, and I can just pull that down. There we go. It should be okay. And then this entire section, we'll do something similar. We're going to grab that bottom corner, sort of move it over. I'm just going to grab the top corner and drag it down. Move it over. It looks like it needs to be wider. It should effectively match this other one. So let's grab these long ones and pull it over. So now I can grab this. And if you're unable to select it, you could also click on a polygon and then click here in 3D space or UV space, excuse me, and grow your selection from there. Because what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to get these two to match their proportions. And the one that's thinner, definitely this one that's wider, where the UVs are wider, that actually looks more accurate to me. So that's what I'm trying to match. All right, there we go. So I'm going to deselect the bottom parts and just kind of fix this top section to sort of match better. And then grow my selection again and deselect this section. Kind of bring this up. Deselect the very bottom. Pull this up. So it looks like they're close enough, and we'll know once we actually get it in and aligned. All right, now I'll just align everything in the center, and then now comes the actual fun part where we kind of figure out how we want to map our trim. What kind of look do we want to get utilizing our trim? So for us, we could do it all as one, or we could grab region select everything and then deselect that middle, or I was region selecting from the bottom. Just grab this and pull this down. This is going to kind of be the bottom base of it. If I grab this and hold Control and drag this up, that gives me kind of a cool looking aesthetic there. A nice solid base under it. All right, kind of like that. And now grab all this, all this top portion. And actually, I just want to grab the middle, and I'm going to break that and lower that down and kind of line it up here with that ambient, and then hold Control and grab that corner and drag that up. That's going to tile that out. And this one gets interesting. You may, depending on how they're sitting, you may want to shift it to get it so that the edge kind of sits kind of like that. And that may end up being something where, just grab just this one. You may want to grab just that one edge. Kind of, looks like it's the other side. Grab that, move that over to kind of line up, because I want to get sort of that edge. Boy, it really is distracting having that selection preview on. Turn that off. So I'll pull this over. Let's orbit around to the other side. Yeah, there we go. It's looking pretty cool. Let's grab these two pieces. And let's see, it should be the right. I think I just need to grab that side. Just pull that over a little bit. I'm watching. There we go. Kind of eyeballing it. Over around to the other. Grab these two. Bring this over. All right, there we go. So we got that detail on there. And then we can just make it easy on ourselves for the rest of this. Just kind of lower it so it's sitting. And maybe like here. Grab that top corner and raise that up. There we go. That looks pretty cool. Let's right click, convert to poly, make that permanent. Let's take this piece next. This is probably going to be the next most complicated one. Unwrap UVW, open the UV editor, and I'm just going to come over here and just, oh, you know what? I'm going to remove that unwrap, and I'm going to go into polygon and click on this polygon here and delete it. If I go into wireframe, I can select the polygon on the bottom. We're never going to see the bottom polygon on this mesh. It's just easier if we get rid of it before we unwrap. I go up to the top level and put a new unwrap on. That's really important, right? You don't want to put an unwrap on while you're still in the sub-object. We'll go into edge. Let's double click to grab this inner edge here. Actually, not that one. I want to grab this top one up here. I'm going to select that. I'm going to hit convert edge selection to seam. Open my UV editor. Go to polygon. Double click on this entire thing and hit peel. And now let's do tools, relax. And what happens if we hit unfold? Not much. Let's go into relax by polygon. It doesn't do too much either. So we're just going to manually come in here like we had previously. And I'm just going to go through and grab each of these loops. And I'm going to do a quick align on them. I'm just double clicking to grab those various loops. I don't have too much geometry, so it's going relatively quickly for me. This is really just because I want to get this trim texture to line up on here nice. All right, and now we can go down. Let's display our trim. All right, for some reason, it's not showing up here. Well, that's because I turned it off. There we go. All right, go to polygon, grab it, and then again, it's just a case of which one of these do we want to have on there. And you can always double check some of what we did. If I click on a polygon, does that shape look correct? Does that match? It looks like it should actually be a little bit taller, to be honest, but not all of them are quite matching. What if I do just apply with my relax? No, that's not really doing it. I'm just going to take this and raise this up to this section here, and then I'm going to use those freeform tools. And I'm just going to kind of grab it and just scale it over. And then I'm going to go through and I'm just going to vertically align these because it's going to give me the best possible result. Like I said, we could try going through, grabbing these vertex points, deselecting the ones here, I think. All right, so what I do is I hit this kind of space. That one doesn't really work. Well, if I could just grab these, that doesn't do it. I've never really been able to figure out what space horizontally does. It's weird. Let's try linear align. Nope. Yeah, this is just weird. Those are weird tools. All right, grab this, make it planar. Or do the align, doing the quick align. So I know that Autodesk, you know, if I go into vertex, it might be easier to go through instead of double clicking. I don't know. You can, whatever is going to be the most comfortable workflow for you really is the way to go. Just keep going through and breaking these, or aligning them. Almost through this. Last one. There we go. Run a polygon, grab everything, and there we go. So now we can kind of grab it. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all this. I'm going to grab this corner, just drag it over, plug it in here. And really, that's not what I want. What I want to do is grab this bottom part and drag it up. So I want to get, where's this, right here? Kind of want to get that general shape where it's sort of unwrapping just like this. This is sort of what I'm looking for. So maybe what I'll do is I'll grab these vertex points. This one's going to be wild. I'm going to drag this up so that they kind of overlap up here. and then grab this row and drag it so it overlaps here. So then my seam lines are overlapping correctly. I'll just grab this row from the top, just drag that down, because you're not going to see most of that. The only one that's a little bit of a sketchy choice is sort of this one here, because you will get a little bit of mirroring. All right, right click, convert to edit poly. So lots of crazy stretching here, right? What do? We go and we put on our UVWX form, and now we just adjust our tile. And we're only adjusting the U. So if we just click and drag, we can say however many times we want this to tile. So if we set this to tile, say 6 times, what does that look like? To be honest, it looks pretty cool. I think we'll go with that. They're not perfectly straight. Maybe if we take them a little bit more. No. Less. Yeah, let's go with less. Yeah, go 4. We could even offset it if we wanted. That would be an option too. So if you wanted to have something, you do U offset. So if you want to have it kind of look like there's a kind of column piece in the center. Look at that. That looks cool. Convert that to edit poly. All right. Last 2 parts here. So come in, grab this one, unwrap UVW, open UV editor, and we're going to do this one just like we did our column in the past. Grab this. I'm just going to peel that, and we'll set this to be our trim texture down here. Go into the preferences, turn off our selection preview, say OK, orbit this, and just shrink this down and hide it kind of down here in the generic area. And then we're just going to grab our edge, grab our ring, grab our loop, convert edge selections, and then just grab all of it and peel it. Unfold. There we go. And just rotate these guys around. All right, so this one would be a little bit different, only because we're going to grab all these sides, break them, rotate them, and kind of stack them down here on the bottom. Excuse me. I came out too quick. I should try and edit that out, but I'm not going to. Things happen. All right, grab this row, align, align, grab the entire thing, and I'm just gonna, oops, I want to make this fit on my freeform because I bet that's gonna look pretty good. Yep, pretty good. And then we'll just grab all these guys and line them up on top of each other. All right, let's check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So, yeah, it's kind of a bummer because if I grab this row and do horizontal, I can just grab. I could double click individual lines here and align them horizontally. Previous versions of 3ds Max, the unwrap tools did not make everything rotate in very strange and odd directions. It is more work now because of this latest version and the way that the tools do so much weird distortion these days. And here I could just grab these edges that are left and align them. I don't know, I must have missed, or something's not quite lined up here. What did I do? 1, 2, oh, okay, weird. 3, 4. Oh, it's because they're right on top of themselves. 5, 6. All right, we're good from there. All right, now let's just find a portion of this That looks good. They're so small, I don't even know. Like we could, let's just fit them onto here. And we're just going to put it on this guy right there. This thing got a nice little bit of detail happening. All right, looks kind of cool. You can always shift and adjust them if you want to make it look even better, right? That's the great thing about trims, is you just kind of move it around until it works good for your specific needs, right? You're just kind of going through and tuning it to make it look as good. Whatever it is you're trying to replicate, convert that to poly. And then last ones, go Unwrap UW, open UV editor. And for these, let's try something a little bit different here. Let's grab that. I'm just going to grab one edge on the inside here. Define that seam. Grab the top. There we go. Grab those, peel those, and we'll just kind of scale those down here at this bottom portion. There we go. Grab these parts, and we're just going to rake them. And because I broke them, I should be able to try tools, relax by polygon. Hey, look, relaxed them. Move these down. And I'm going to kind of line them up, just the two. Get that over there, kind of make this line up on top of that one. Grab everything, and just kind of align them on here. Kind of fill that space. And then the tops, right, we'll just, oops, we'll peel them. Oops. Just double click and relax. Double click and relax. So I'm going to grab actually what's on the back side here and just relax that separately. And I'm just going to put this down here at the bottom. And then this guy can relax that, and I can kind of take these two sections and however I want. Let's grab this one, rotate it, and we'll just kind of freeform it. There we go. And then just figure out how specifically we want to UV unwrap it on this mesh. So we'll just figure that out. We'll kind of take a look, see what looks good, and that's what we'll go with. Pull that down, maybe move it over. Yeah, kind of looks weird. Maybe we'll just take this top part, bring it in. How much distortion does that give us? Oh, that's bad. I don't want to do that. Maybe we'll just put it up on the brick. So just bring that up here to the top. Bring this part up to the top. Kind of align that. There we go. Convert to poly. So now we have basic UVs on the entire project. So I'm gonna stop this here, and you know what, that looks really bad. We did all this good work and everything else, and then we, you know, kind of slapped that together. That looks awful. Let's just move this down here. Tools, relax, polygon. There we go. There we go. I'm just going to line it up on this one, so that works. Yeah, That'll do. That'll work just like that. All right, come on, did it, Polly. All right, I'm gonna stop that there. I'm gonna make a third section about how do we put it all back together.